And now we'll be introducing our guest speaker of the night. Working in sales at enterprise software companies for nearly 20 years, Allison Katwan leads the Genesis North American West commercial and operational activities, which accounts for half of the company's North American revenue. She has transformed the way Genesis sells by implementing social selling models. She has also increased diversity by emphasizing sales skills over tech experience when hiring. Alice's team of 40, made up of an equal number of women and men, which is unheard of in high-tech sales, has achieved record revenue growth. Alice has already established herself as a pro at leading sales teams when she joined Genesis in 2013 as Vice President of Sales in the Western region. Previously, she held the position of Sales Director for nearly 8 years, and before that, she worked in sales for a BEA system, network appliance, and Sagent technology. In 2015, Allison was honored with the Silicon Valley Woman of Influence Award and was appointed as an advisor in the Mesosphere Inc., a venture-funded startup that has built the data center operation systems for cloud management and data center resources at scale. Alice is passionate about promoting women's leadership and regularly speaks about how women can succeed in traditionally male-dominated areas, specifically in sales and high-tech. She has spoken in the IEE Women in Engineering Conference and the Women's Leadership webinar series, Be Leaderly. Alice is a board member of the Club of Silicon Valley and a mentor for POW, providing opportunities for women organization, which is at San Francisco State. Alice is also a board member of the Spartan Sports Camp, which is dedicated to raising funds for the Mountain View High School athletic department through community events and programs. In her role, she'll help make strategic decisions and guide the direction of the camp. Alice and her husband, also a sales executive, has 3 sons, one 16, one 15, and one 11. Alice loves watching her boys play football and volleyball and spends her time golfing and snowboarding in their home in Lake Tahoe. So now let's hear from Alice, from selling 25-cent newspapers on the corner of 26th and Irving to now managing a $100 million plus business at Genesis.
Thank you. It's down here. How's everybody doing tonight? Coming back here today is a full circle moment for me. I not only grew up in San Francisco, but I'm also an alum, woo! Of the marketing class. I'm so honored to be here today, celebrating your amazing accomplishment. Thank you to the faculty, parents and grandparents, friends, and extended families who've made today possible. And most important, congratulations to the graduates of the marketing class of 2016! Let me begin by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm a first-generation Palestinian American. My dad immigrated to San Francisco at age 14, and he worked at his uncle's grocery store. And by the time he was 16, he had made enough money to bring back his mom, his dad, his 3 brothers, and his sister to join him. At age 21, he married my mom and started a family. My parents, my sister Sausen, my brothers John and Sammer, grandmother Alice, Aunt Jackie, Uncle Jack, and Uncle Fred all lived together in a Victorian home almost big enough for the 10 of us. My mom ruled the home front, which was far less chaotic than you can imagine. As you may have gathered, my parents taught me the value of hard work. When I was 12 years old, I made my first entry into sales and marketing, selling newspapers on the corner of 26th and Irving. And when it came time for college, going away wasn't an option for me. My parents expected me to live at home. So to put myself through school, I earned a scholarship and worked as a salesperson at a home and bath store. A big move up from selling Sunday comics. I was in the big leagues selling kitchen faucets and toilets. Believe it or not, in 1993, I began San Francisco State University as a biology major. You're probably wondering, biology? Well, remember, I'm first generation. The career paths were doctor or lawyer. After 3 months of dissecting frogs, analyzing blood, and other questionable fluids, it was pretty clear medical school was not for me. So I needed to figure out what I was going to do. So I stopped and really took to heart the best advice my father gave me. He'd say, whatever you decide to do, be sure it makes you happy. So I asked myself the question that you too should ask yourself. What makes me happy? I then realized that selling faucets and toilets was way more fun than dissecting frogs. At least for me it was. So I switched my major to marketing and never looked back. Not only do I treasure the time that I spent at San Francisco State, but I've been impressed by how well it has prepared me for success in life. Everything that I've accomplished has started right here. So there's no limit to what you can achieve with the degree that you've just earned, as it has served me well time and time again, and it will for you too. Let me step back and describe college life as a marketing major about 20 years ago. The internet for the masses hadn't rolled out yet. I had never seen a cell phone, much less anyone using one. Microsoft Office was new and hot stuff for companies, so marketing majors were expected to know Excel inside and out. I even learned how to code in DOS, and I did all my research in the library using a microfiche machine. Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? It was an exciting time. The Bay Area was the epicenter of the technology movement, and I wanted to be a part of it. I eventually got there, but as you can imagine, I've hit a few bumps along the way. I'd like to share some advice that I hope will save you some angst as you navigate through the next phase in your life. I have 3 lessons I'd like to share with you. Follow your passion, be present, and always make time for play. 3 P's, passion, present, and play. A little different than what you learn in marketing, right? Product, price, and promotion? First, follow your passion. I truly believe if you're passionate about what you do, success and happiness will follow. I graduated on a Saturday in 1997 and got married on Sunday. I know, crazy, huh? I even took my wedding pictures right here at the Palace of Fine Arts in front of the fountain out front. I moved from San Francisco to Sunnyvale, and after my honeymoon, I was going to take high-tech sales and I was going to take Silicon Valley by storm. That was the master plan. After all, it was the hottest job market. I wanted the Valley experience with a capital V. Well, it didn't quite work out that way because companies like Oracle and HP were looking for 10+ years experience, and I was fresh out of college with 0 years experience. I was frustrated until my mother-in-law showed me what true networking looks like. At my brother-in-law's restaurant, Badges' down the street cafe in Mountain View, a popular spot for Silicon Valley executives, my mother-in-law went table to table pouring coffee. Her Get Alice a Job campaign went something like this. She interviewed each customer asking what their name was, where they worked, and what they did. If it wasn't high tech, she moved on because she knew that was my passion. If it was high tech, she went for the clothes. Do you have a job for my daughter-in-law? It took only a week before she cornered Silicon Valley icon Ken Gardner, the CEO of Sagent Technologies, and he said yes. Although he didn't have a sales job, he had a customer service position, and I was in. I landed my first job in Silicon Valley, so thank you. 3 months later, I went to happy hour at Gordon Biersch in Palo Alto. A bunch of salespeople my husband knew were getting together to talk shop, and he invited me to tag along. I knew I wasn't going to know anyone there, but my passion for tech motivated me to go. I struck up a conversation with a salesperson from Network Appliance, and they were hiring. She introduced me to another Silicon Valley icon, Tom Mendoza, then VP of Worldwide Sales, now Vice Chairman, and I got my first opportunity in tech sales, and I never looked back. Much of where your path leads you will be happenstance, the right place at the right time. Following your passion will keep you on the right path in the long run. To quote Steve Jobs, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied with what you do is to do great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. That brings me to my second lesson I want to talk about today, which is to be present. When you're at work, be at work. When you're at home, be at home. When you're talking to someone, listen. And when you're relaxing, do take the time to relax. But above all, be present. I'm not going to lecture you about the evils of communicating through emails, text, and social media. My biggest problem with it is that people use it to the exclusion of actually paying attention to each other. If you're writing an email or text and worried about what the person you're writing may misunderstand what you're saying, I've been there, I know what it feels like. Stop and trash it and pick up the phone and use it for its original purpose, to talk to someone. I often watch emails go back and forth for days until someone finally picks up the phone to solve the problem. And speaking of phones, I'm going to encourage you to look up from your phones more often and to be present with each other and the people around you. My team is spread all across the country. We couldn't function without electronic communication. 4 times a year we get together in person, and during these meetings, I implement a no cell phone and no laptop rule while presenters are speaking. And recently, I've added smartwatches to the list. What's next? But I still feel sympathy pangs as I too get restless, wondering what I'm missing while I'm untethered. A few months back, I co-hosted a dinner for 8 interns. They weren't talking to me or the other host. They weren't even talking to each other. Every head was down. They were taking pictures of their dinner for Instagram, and as a matter of fact, one person was taking a picture of the other person's dinner and sending it to them via text. Why can't they just look at them and say, hey, look what I ordered, look at my dinner? They were communicating, just not in person, even though they were sitting right next to each other. I'm trying to look up myself more, and I'll tell you it's not easy. My husband and I are both in sales. Sometimes we feel like our phone takes over. And honestly, we worry about the example we're setting for our 3 sons, ages 16, 15, and 11. This past spring break, we took them to Maui. It was great to see them surfing the ocean versus surfing the web. It seemed like if they weren't eating or sleeping, they were in the water, swimming or snorkeling. But they drifted back to their old habits towards the end of the vacation. In fact, on the last night while at dinner, my husband took a picture of the 3 boys, heads down, staring at their phones. He then sent them a text of what they looked like at the dinner table with a caption that said, "Thanks for joining us for dinner, boys." The great Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." If you're always heads down with your phone, you can't possibly make others feel good about themselves or good about you. Let me encourage all of you to, on occasion, put the phones down and enjoy the people around you. That brings me to my third lesson. Always make time to play. I started out by talking about being passionate about your work. Play is the counterbalance. Play is doing what you like to do when you're not working. To me, play is spending time with friends and family, reading, watching movies, traveling, and cooking. It sounds easy, but there'll be times in your life when it's hard to find time to play. Have you noticed how busy is the standard answer these days to how are you? Hey, how's it going? So busy. How are you? Oh, crazy busy. People are almost competitive about how busy they are. It's almost comical. I'm yet another poster child of not winning that race. About 5 years ago, life got more chaotic than usual. I thought that I could cook dinner every night and keep the house clean and the laundry done and work full-time in a high-stress world of high-tech sales and make it to 3 different sporting events on the same day. And don't forget, pay attention to your husband. Oh, and do it all perfectly. I reached my breaking point, and my health took a nosedive. I felt like I was spending more time with my doctors than my family. When all was said and done, the medical consensus was that stress was making me sick. I'll never forget the day my doctor cranked up the exam table, looked me square in the eyes, and said with a stern voice, "You can't keep going at that pace. You need to slow down, otherwise you won't be here to enjoy the benefits of your hard work." It was then that I realized how essential it is to play and really maintain a strong work-life balance. And not just pay it lip service. And I just don't mean when you have kids. Making time to play is relevant at all phases of life. In fact, making time to play is a proven stress reliever. It has been known to improve brain function, creativity, and strengthen your relationship and connections with others. So play is actually serious business. As Oprah once said, you can have it all. You just can't have it all at once. Some days you'll be a great parent and friend, but not a great employee. And other days you'll be a great employee and not a great partner and miss family dinner. We can have it all, just not all at the same time. You're blessed to be able to attend a school in the Bay Area which offers you so many diverse opportunities to work in marketing. Congratulations to you all and to your families and friends. You did it! I wish all of you the best in pursuing and achieving your dreams. Just remember to follow your passion, be present, and always make time for play along the way. I hope you find joy in the journey that lies ahead of you. Thank you.
Go, Mom!
We're not going to let you go there that fast. Thank you so much. And as well.
Oh, thank you.
A tangible expression of our appreciation. This is a plaque that says, "A special thank you to Alice Katwan, VP Sales, West Region at Genesis. We are thankful for your words of wisdom and inspiring message to the 2016 marketing graduates, May 28th, 2016, Department of Marketing, College of Business, San Francisco State University." Thank you.